Hi, welcome to Cards with Pat and Tricia. I'm Tricia. Today we are going to make this nifty retro card featuring cheeseburger fries and milkshake. Don't worry about all the dimensions because they are listed down below in the description, so you can go back and get all those later when you're done watching the video and go back to create it. All right, here we go. Okay, so I am using this patterned paper from Authentique, and I'm going to mat it on top of this red cardstock. So we're going to do that real quick here. I am using a tape runner by Creative Memories. You can obviously use whatever adhesive works best for you. Okay, we're going to put this on here, leave a little bit of edge the whole way around. And now I am going to adhere it to my card base. This is actually a vanilla colored card base. It's a thicker paper. I like to use a thicker cardstock just because I think it holds up better. So if somebody wants to display your card, and even with all these layers of paper on it, it is going to stand right up. So let's go ahead and get this on there. One thing that I found works really well also for making cards is double stick tape. I used that for a great number of years, and I stopped being able to find it at my wholesale club. So that's one of the reasons I stopped using it. But if you can get it at a good deal, I would definitely pick up some double stick tape because it does hold your card together very, very nicely. All right, so we've got our mats on here. We are going to go ahead and start with our milkshake. So this is a 2 by 2 inch square. I've run it through my embossing folder to give it a striped look. You obviously don't have to do that. It was just something I wanted to do. Now, because this is a 2 by 2 inch square, I did that for a reason, because we do need to cut this at a diagonal because I wanted to give it that look of an older milkshake glass. So when I did this, I marked off ½ inch. No, that's not right. I marked off a ¼ inch on each side of the top. So there are some little pencil marks right here. And then down here, this is just 3/4 of an inch wide down here at the bottom. So I'm going to cut that on a diagonal. I am using my small paper trimmer to do that, just because I know that my cuts aren't always the best. Now, if I'd been smart, I would have done this on the other side, so it would have been a lot easier to cut, but that's okay, because it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so we've got my little milkshake glass here. I made mine pink because I really like strawberry milkshakes. I've also done it in chocolate, which looks really fun. I've also seen people cut out mugs for like root beer or beer. Those are really a lot of fun too. Okay, I'm going to just take a piece of my red that I've been using with everything, and I am going to cut off just a little strip that will be my straw. That really doesn't have to be, you know, perfect or anything. It can be whatever. All right, so I want to make sure that my pencil marks, if visible, are on the inside so that you don't see them. All right, put a little bit of adhesive here. I want to angle my straw a little bit just because that's what I want to do. Oh, you know what I should have done first? I'm going to put some adhesive, whoops, all the way around here. And we're going to put on 2 of these little scalloped pieces first. I should have been thinking of that. So that when you flip it over, it looks like you've got some of your milkshake. Of course, make sure that it's not going over your edge, because milkshake obviously would not be coming out of the side of your glass. Okay, Now I can put down my straw. Okay, put down my straw. And then on the front, whoo, that straw's a little tipsy. Okay, then I'm going to take this last scallop circle and I'm going to use a dimensional to put that on there so that it pops it up just a little bit. I'm actually going to use 2 dimensionals. All right, let's see here. If you don't have good fingernails, you can use your craft knife to pull those off with. That always helps too. All right, so look there, our little milkshake is done. I'm gonna wait to put that on the card though. So let's set that off to the side. All right, the first thing we're going to build is our bun. Now, you wanna give this some dimension, otherwise it's gonna look really, really flat. So I'm going to do some blending, or edging rather, with my ink. And these are little blending tools by Ranger. And I am using Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. You can use whatever color of brown works best for you. And really, for the bottom one, we just want to make sure that we get right around there. And this will be our middle one. Same thing, we just want to get right around there. Now, this top one is going to be a little bit different. So I am going to use, I didn't bring my bone folder over to the video area with me. So I'm going to use my scissors. And I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of curling of this because I really want to give my bun some dimension. And yes, we can do so much with shading, but sometimes you actually have to do a little bit more than that. And I am going over this one a little bit more heavily. And I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of dabbing on here. Now, if you had something that you could make little sesame seeds with, I think that would look super cute. All right, we're going to put away this ink. And you can use any kind of ink. This is just the one that I had handy, so that's the one I picked up. All right, now we have 2 of these ovals that are our patty. So we're going to set our more rounded bun piece. We're going to set that aside. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put some adhesive on here. And yes, you obviously could use whatever kind of adhesive you wanted with this. I just wanted to use my tape runner. All right, so the trick here is that we need to show a little bit of the bun. There you can see a little bit of the bun. And we need some cheese, right? Well, I don't eat much cheese on my cheeseburgers, but on a double patty burger, of course we need that. So I'm gonna take my square that I cut out earlier, and I'm just going to put it diagonally so that the points are right there at the edge of my cutter. Make 2 triangles. All right, let's get some cheese on this burger. And I may end up pulling this apart and, fixing things a little bit. I might want a little bit more cheese than that's showing. Ah, there we go. He doesn't like that cheese dripping over the edge. Well, okay, that might be a little too much. Looks a little bit like a tooth, kind of scary there. All right, let's give this one a try. All right. Oh yeah, that looks better. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this second patty on there. And this was just one of the darkest browns I had. I thought that would replicate the meat pretty well. All right, so we've got our, oh, you know what I forgot? This is like a, you know, Big Mac. So we need to have that extra layer of bun in there. So let's get that extra layer of bun in there. And now we're going to do our second patty. Alrighty, we've got our bottom bun, the beef patty, some cheese, and the second bun, and our second beef patty. And where'd that other cheese go? Here we go. Now it's time for our other cheese. And I'm going to put this over here off to the side a little bit just because I want to make sure that it gets its own attention. So I'm going to just stick this on here for a minute to see how that looks. And I might pull it back up just a smidge. There we go. All right, next is our tomato, which again is just the same size oval again. And if you see how I'm kind of letting all those different layers show. Now, this is half of a scallop circle, and I am just going to use my scissors to cut this for our lettuce. All right, let's get some adhesive on there. Now, the reason I am putting my lettuce on top of the tomato, because I learned when I worked at a certain ham company and we would make sandwiches, the lettuce is there to soak up the juice from your tomato so that it doesn't get your bun or whatever your bread is all soggy. All right, let's see how that looks. Ugh, I am not liking that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over because I want that more rounded part. Okay, can't hold the tape runner tonight. All right, let's try this again. All right, put my more rounded part here. There we go. Let's see how that's going to look. Oh, I like that. All right, so I'm not going to use regular adhesive now. I'm going to go back and use my dimensionals. I'm going to give this just another little curl here. Think of like curling ribbon, just because I want that to have some pop to it. Don't be afraid to use your dimensionals. Overall, the scheme of things, they're not that expensive. I learned that one time at a class I took and had it kind of drilled into my head recently at another class I took that really you want your card to be nice, you don't want it falling apart, and you want to make sure that your raised layers, they're raised and they're steady. If you just put 1 or 2 dimensions down there, they are not going to hold as well the shape. And you definitely, you're putting the work into it. Give it everything you've got. All right, there we go. Now we've got the top to our burger. All right, we're going to go ahead and make our fries. So these are just skinny pieces of a light yellow. And the first thing I'm going to do is, I don't even know how many years I've had this tool. It puts crinkles into it. Stampin' Up sold these like, I don't even know when, 94? No, I wasn't stamping in 94. But at some point, eons ago, late 90s probably, I bought this just because I thought it was fun. But you know, you could accordion fold these little strips and that would work just as well to give your fries some crinkle. Maybe you don't want crinkle fries. Leave them straight. This is always just awkward for me to get it started. If you don't have it in far enough, it's not going to go through. There we go. There's 2. And whenever you really do something on a card, you want to make sure it's in odd numbers. So I like to do 3s, you know, that whole rule of 3. All right, I am going to switch pads on my handy dandy little blending tool here. And this is an old Stampin' Up! Color, Delightful Dijon. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to get some ink down here first. Because you don't always want to be taking your sponges across your ink pads, some of them, like the Stampin' Up! Ones, because it just turns them wacky. So I've got the ink right here. And I'm going to smush that around. And I'm going to pull out this here. And I'm just going to kind of lightly go over this, just so I can get a little bit of dimension. I mean, obviously we already have dimension, but we're going to give it a little bit of color. I'm just kind of wiping those across. All right, let's close this up so I don't stick my arm in it, which has been known to happen. I don't know how many of you stick your arms or whatever into your ink pads. All right, we've got these, and we will trim these down once we get our plate constructed. All right, so for my plate, I am using white, even though my card base itself is a vanilla color. And I'm doing that just because, to me, I don't know, I guess I really wanted the white. You could use the cream. There's nothing saying you can't. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on here. Whoa. Okay. I don't know what I did there. That was kind of weird. All right. So I'm doing a red rimmed plate because, like I said, I'm just carrying out that red throughout. But, you know, if you have your background is blue, make your plate blue. You know, just do whatever works best for you. Okay. So we've got our, oh, it's not on very well. Let's try that again. Oh, dog fur. Everything I do has dog fur on it. One of these days I'll show you all my dog. He's about, we think still about 130. The vet thought he'd lost some weight, but I'm not really so sure about that. But we'll keep that on the down low from him. Okay, so we've got our plate here. I'm going to figure out exactly kind of how we want our burger. Take our card. Do this so that you know exactly where the bottom of your card is. You would not be the first person to put your card pieces on upside down. I've done it. We've all done it. Okay, I'm actually going to put this on with my two-sided tape. I don't know. I think this one I got from Amazon. I bought it from, you know, scrapbook.com. You know, I bought the score tape. I've had, you know, a bunch of different ones. Wherever I can get a good deal on it, that's when I buy it. And I buy it in quantity because I use it a lot. And I'm using this because I really want this burger and plate to stay on here. All right, there's our plate. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the burger. I'm going to make sure that I have plenty of adhesive on this. I didn't weigh this, but you know, you've got several layers of paper here and you really want to make sure that it stays attached to that plate. Nothing worse than somebody opening their mail from you and pieces flying out because it didn't adhere. For this burger in particular, I would not use glue. unless you know for sure that that glue is really going to stick. Elmer's school glue sticks, it's not going to hold. So I would make sure you have something that's pretty heavy. All right, lay that burger on my plate. Make sure I leave some room for those fries. Now see, these are too long, so I'm just going to snip off a bit here and snip off a bit there, and let's see how that works. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna use this well, this isn't the Score Tape brand, but you get my drift. I'm using this because it is a 1/4 inch and it is the same width as the fry. So it is gonna stay, you know, it's not gonna run over or any of that. Now I know that you can buy this kind of tape out there that's red plastic liner. I really would not use that unless you absolutely love it. That red liner, it will just stick to you. It's very staticky. You can't tear it. You have to use scissors. So that is why I do not recommend that. Back when I sold Stampin' Up, I didn't recommend it then either. Just because, like I said, it's not the easiest thing to work with. Look at this. Lay that right on there. Know where I need to end it and just tear it right off. And this is not a sponsored, you know, I don't have sponsored things here, so, you know, you can get it wherever you can get it. Oh, another piece of dog fur. All right, let's get that fry on there. And like I said, I do these in 3s. And you know as well as I do, fries are never the same length. Not even from, you know, McDonald's. Yeah, I think maybe I should move that over here a little bit more, frame that burger a bit. I think that's what I'll do. Frame my burger. All right. Let's get this last one on here. I hope you all are enjoying these punch art cards. It's been a lot of fun getting back into some punch art. But we would love to hear your comments about what kind of cards you would like to see us do. You know, do you want to see some more stamping cards? You know, what is it that you want to see from us? All right, and I'm going to go ahead back and use this again just because. All right, let's get these last couple of pieces on here. All right, press those on, pull them off. Like I said, these would come off really easily with a craft blade, or if you have some sort of e-cutter, I'm sure you have a little, you know, spatula that you use. I use that frequently to take these off, but right now it's my thumbnail. All right, let's get that shake on there. Now, I do not have a sentiment on this. You certainly could put a sentiment on here. There's plenty of room. I just made a general card that I can use as a note card to send to a friend. So let's take one more look at these cards before we go. All right, so thanks again for joining us today while we made our card. And so my one from earlier, the one we did together, look, they're not exactly the same, and that's okay. We are not a factory. We are not mass producing. We are making homemade. And as my gram used to say all the time, if it doesn't have a mistake, it's not homemade. So we hope that you enjoyed this card video today. Thanks again for watching, and please let us know down below in the comments, what kind of techniques are you looking for? Is there something some certain kind of card that you're interested in learning about. We are happy to help you out with those. And please make a card, send it to someone, give them a bright day. Bye.